Hello, dear friends. My name is Alexey Ognev, CEO of the DigiU ecosystem. Today we have another webinar. We'll be talking about our upcoming plans, ongoing events, and the increasing momentum in our company and projects. Additionally, we will attempt to foresee how we'll navigate this year from a business perspective, events, and the implementation of the projects we have in mind. Indeed, when we look at our ecosystem, it is constantly growing day by day, year by year. This growth is evident in the number of projects, employees, and departments. Some departments are formed on a regular basis, while others are outsourced. All of this demands a higher level of management. Speaking of internal processes, starting from January of this year, we've been implementing certain changes at the management level, because managing a large number of projects, and there are indeed many today, requires effective management. These projects include external and internal initiatives, the venture fund, and the selection of external startups. We are launching projects like bank and marketplace. Leaders have already been found. Technical teams have been formed. Not just initial ones, but also marketing teams. It's crucial to be the right management system that is effective, bring results, and most importantly, achieves business results. When we talk about a successful business, the result is essentially profit, something that has always been and will continue to be an indicator of a healthy project in our system. If a project finds its market, its niche, its consumer, and is capable of finding a business model within 6 months and starts moving independently, regardless of the parent ecosystem, without a constant influx of finances, then it is in the business model, and it has several development options. It could be a functioning business, capturing the market and generating profit, directing it towards its development. Alternatively, it could be a project that requires a traditional venture financing, opening one funding round after another, attracting investments, and growing. As an ecosystem, we own a part of this project alongside other areas, such as funds, business angels, and so on. This is a classic, proven method of launching any innovative startups in the modern world. Managing such projects is indeed a huge task. Within the company, we are actively implementing new management principles, project management, and most importantly, overseeing a large project and a substantial number of projects. It is crucial, based on the goals we outlined for our company last year, to learn how to manage, firstly, a large number of projects, and be prepared for the fact that the number of projects will continue to grow. As a reminder, our goal for this year is an additional 10 technological startups and solutions in our ecosystem, thanks to the activities of our venture fund. This means another 10 projects, some of which will be external. We will discover them just like we found, for example, Binarix and SpiritMe. Some will be nurtured and incubated within our ecosystem in the laboratory, within the venture fund, and brought to the market. This is happening currently with the AVO project, our RWA projects, the bank and the marketplace. Adding another 10 projects is no joke. It's a very serious undertaking. Plus, there are additional changes that we are introducing and implementing right now. The completion of share sales involves restructuring, burning unwanted shares. All of this imposes specific business tasks and the implementation of management. This is an extensive body of work to which we are currently committed. My attention, along with Alexander and other founders, is actively involved in this, all while not forgetting the implementation of specific commercial tasks and solutions. Transitioning smoothly to commercial tasks and solutions, it is worth mentioning that our priority for the next 3 months is to launch RWA projects commercially into testing, at least the bank and the marketplace. Speaking of them, active work is underway to find the business model, check and launch the MVP of these projects. What does this entail? For example, concerning the bank, it involves actions related to attracting the bank's liquidity. Therefore, in February, you will see launched deposits with quite interesting conditions and a clear business model that will also allow wealth to preserve, increase capital, and use it intelligently from a multiplication perspective. You will see the introduction of conventional banking products in the world, such as cards for paying various services and purchases. Additionally, you can add them to your smartphones, such as Apple Pay and Google Pay. Our ecosystem will also introduce its wallet, which could ultimately become a single entry point for all our projects and a convenient tool for interacting with us. Currently, within the personal account, you see a section called the Investor's Portfolio, which is constantly updated and convenient for monitoring your assets. The number of parameters will continue to increase. You will roughly see the estimated value of your assets and have the opportunity in a unified window to learn something about the project, the latest news, expand your portfolio, or perform other possible actions with the portfolio. In the future, this will be implemented within a convenient, understandable mobile application. The application itself will be one of the many products we offer. As for the marketplace, a significant amount of time is currently spent by Alexander and myself in Indonesia, specifically on the primary selection of real estate projects that will appear on the marketplace during its test launch. Naturally, we are relying on Indonesia as our most researched and ready to tokenize region. So the legal aspect of tokenization in Indonesia, market readiness, developers, development companies, and even clients show a considerable level of awareness in this regard. Binaryx has done extensive work selling and tokenizing numerous properties, specifically in Indonesia. Hence, we are following the well-trodden path of our partners. Our task is to select the right types of real estate. The first for our marketplace, which will actually appear at the start and obviously possess attractive conditions and a high level of reliability, both legally and so on. We are actively establishing relationships with developers, development companies, and obviously management companies. A significant amount of work is being conducted by us concerning the identification of the right management companies. Because when looking at the marketplace, especially in the section of tokenized real estate, where, for instance, one can acquire tokenized properties like apartments or villas, there arises a question for the buyer. The question is about generating returns on their investments. You purchase a certain number of tokens, and these tokens generate income derived from renting out the property or some commercial operation. So, who will manage this? Will it be an in-house management company, or will it be professionals with a decade of experience? We have dedicated a lot of time to communicating with management companies, and we have formed a short list of those whom we will likely entrust with the properties we are considering for long-term partnerships and tokenization. Speaking of specific actions, In the last 2 weeks, we attended several major forums related to real estate and cryptocurrencies. One of the forums specifically focused on real estate and cryptocurrencies, and much was discussed about tokenization. The audience was not just interested, they were almost demanding it to tokenize. We started delving into this matter. Why such strong interest, and where does it come from? The explanation is quite simple, as every developer and builder independently stated. Tokenization significantly increases the liquidity and speed of any real estate asset. Without tokenization, when you acquire a property, you wait for it to be completed. Or if you bought an under construction property, you have a certain number of days, weeks, sometimes months to sell it at your desired price. If you suddenly need money or face a situation where you need to dispose of the property and get funds, you can sell it very cheaply. But what's the point then? Tokenization, firstly, practically minimizes the buying and selling process. It's essentially pressing a button at any convenient time. We already see Binaryx projects with a secondary market, where their own players are waiting for someone to sell these property tokens. This is a huge advantage for developers, and they acknowledge it themselves. We need quick turnover, and we need to give our clients the opportunity to buy and sell at the press of a button, because roughly 70% of our clients are individuals who don't have the full cost to buy a property, but they understand the investment attractiveness and want to earn from real estate here and now, as long as the market and their personal opportunities allow. Therefore, the demand for tokenization is enormous. We dedicate a significant amount of time to it, especially from a legal model perspective. Alexander is actively involved in addressing fund-related issues. I believe we will invite him to a webinar to talk about the funds plans, the registration, which is already in an advanced stage, and the search for an additional legal tokenization models to enhance project security. Because inevitably, tokenization is an emerging trend, and we are essentially among those who are shaping this market, forming legal aspects in this market, offering certain legal schemes, and testing them primarily on ourselves. And actually, the topic of the same trend of tokenization, you can watch an interview with the head of the largest investment fund, BlackRock, who explicitly states that tokenization is the trend of the decade, and perhaps even beyond. Accordingly, we see tremendous potential in this, and are beginning to implement these tools specifically in real estate. In the future, as we mentioned, within the marketplace, other forms of tokenized assets will emerge. They can be diverse. We can conduct test deals, test sales, and other procedures in real estate, and I congratulate all of you with that, because it means that by attending forums, establishing contacts, especially at the moment with Indonesian developers, management companies, various brokers, you will soon see the first properties that we will select. I believe in February or early March, we will present and showcase them on our marketplace. Also, speaking of other interesting things, we heard from market representatives. there is a demand for certain credit instruments. Here too we have something to offer. These are banking products that allow loans or mortgages to be issued against tokenized assets. Call it what you want, the essence remains the same. Our idea is to combine the bank and the marketplace at sales point. The bank as a place offering various credit products. This idea resonates and the response is beyond our expectations. As always, we are very cautious, starting from a distance, telling the story, trying to expand the worldview about the trend. And they tell us, let's go. We are ready for everything. Everyone understands everything perfectly. Let's tokenize our properties sooner. Here are our clients. Let's offer them some mortgage. Let's also make sure that this management company works because it's the most efficient. And let's try to make the mortgage payment the same as monthly rent. This will be the top class, so to speak, but one way or another, we will move towards it. So why am I saying this? The process of managing such a large structure. I will probably ask to display the map of our ecosystem now, where you see numerous departments. And imagine that these departments firstly are increasing, secondly, new projects are emerging. All of this requires a large number of management specialists. A small but necessary number of management specialists and the right management system. We are very seriously engaged in this now. And I think in the near future, we will introduce the team, its structure, some new departments, and their achievements in one way or another. And this is always a matter of great pride. Therefore, I will definitely tell you how everything will work out for us. So significant work is being done. And I'm glad that last year was incredibly powerful in terms of results. I spent almost 6 months or even more last year on various business trips. This includes India, Vietnam, African countries, then India again, and somewhere else. Then a major forum in Novosibirsk towards the end of the year. In other words, we gained significant momentum in terms of both speed and results. It's fantastic that this year started with even greater speed. Speeds not only didn't drop, but are just beginning to grow. And that's great. Huge thanks to you, our community, the people who watch webinars, those who ask questions in the chats, who contribute in some way to our movement. I'm very grateful to you for what you do for the ecosystem. I urge you to closely follow the news because there will be more and they will become more and more interesting. Therefore, be sure to subscribe to our social networks. Share, like, repost. Our company has always been distinguished by a careful attitude to the content we publish. Besides being informative for our investors and community, it also has a very educational character. Or perhaps a more accurate term would be cutting-edge insights. Reading this content, at the very least, you shouldn't be ashamed to share it. I encourage you to spread the analytical articles we write, share the conclusions, and read them carefully. Because what we are writing now becomes a full-fledged trend and product in 2-3 years. It could be our product or some external one. And at the very least, you can start activities in the trends and directions we are currently choosing for ourselves and openly talking about. So for us, it's It's tremendous support when you show your active engagement. And to wrap up, I'd like to remind you that the main focus for the next 3 months will be on launching RWA projects. Therefore, we are conducting and will continue to conduct several stages of financing for both the bank and the marketplace. Currently, the second stage is underway. And there are, I believe, 4 or 5 days left until the completion of its first half, where a certain number of shares of this project will be distributed. Congratulations on the conversion that took place on January 25. And the ease of perception has increased at least. Secondly, it's a significant step towards the subsequent evaluation. In other words, you will soon see the value of the shares of these projects. This is a pleasant change awaiting you in your personal account. And the ease of perception will naturally be higher. So the second stage, the goals and tasks of this stage are clear. It involves the development and consolidation of the successes we have achieved, expanding the technical and management teams in each of the projects, and attracting the necessary number of specialists who will work separately in each project. Regarding the bank, I've already mentioned it, the launch of cards, wallets, and deposits. And for the marketplace is the selection of real estate properties. And of course, the creation of a specific infrastructure where all this will be located. For you, the internal users of DigiU, and for external users to use. So, that's the structure. Therefore, the second stage has been launched. There will also be a third one as well. However, obviously, the stages will differ from each other. Firstly, in the project evaluation, and the earlier the stage, the more shares of the bank and the marketplace you receive. Acquiring shares of this project separately is only available as a gift now. You cannot individually invest in them without being an investor in the DigiU ecosystem. The process is simple. Make any payment in the ecosystem, purchase shares of the DigiU ecosystem, and consequently you receive shares as a gift. I think there will be at least 1 or 2 more stages. So the entire second stage will follow the same structure. The third one may be partial. But the more achievements, the more projects launched within, for example, the bank and the marketplace, the more stable the project feels. The lower the risks, the necessity of giving gift decreases. This is because we mitigate the risks for our investors. We understand that these projects will be in demand, and part of the funds raised through the sale of DigiU ecosystem securities goes towards financing these projects. Meanwhile, the community and investors don't bear risks that could exist if we offered to individually invest in these projects, purchase shares, and so on. Here, our company takes maximum care and eliminates any risks by ensuring that by purchasing DigiU ecosystem shares, you obtain everything that our ecosystem owns and will own in the future. This essentially guarantees dividends and a powerful investment portfolio created for you through various snapshots, promotional activities we conduct. Thus, DigiU ecosystem shares are a fundamental asset that allows you, with a click of a button, to create a portfolio of now 5 or 6 projects, and in the future this will be 30 plus projects you own, simply because you once made the right decision and purchased a package of DigiU ecosystem shares. So I remind everyone, encourage everyone to pay off your existing installment plans. Purchase a new package if you've been postponing it. Take advantage of all the bonus programs that still exist. but will decrease as we approach June 30, the end of sales. We have almost 5 months left, a little more. So use all the chances to create for yourself and your family a powerful investment tool in the form of a portfolio of DigiU shares and all the products within the ecosystem. The second stage ends on February 15, so there is an opportunity to participate in it. The first distribution of the second stage will be on February 1st, in just 5 days. For those still wondering whether to participate in the first or the second stage, be sure to participate in both. This way, you increase the number of shares of projects in this portfolio. It's that simple. The mechanics have already been tested by us. Therefore, dear friends, I think the next time we'll meet in about 2 weeks, because there is a lot of work, and it's not always possible, especially during trips, to find time for live broadcasts. It's quite rare. Currently, we are in a recorded session. So any questions that arise, ask them in the chat, and our community managers, including myself, will help you find the answers. I thank you for today's meeting. Wish you a wonderful day. Take care. All the best.